Let's get an innawoods thread going. 1850s farmhouse. Setup is weird. 2 bedrooms and bathroom on bottom floor. Kitchen and dining room on top. On side of steep limestone hill, so the back door on second floor is level with ground. Thick woods in the surrounding area. Beer has been drunk. Chillin' upstairs. Hear a tap on the back door. No biggie. Probably a tree branch. Dog's ears perk up, and then he starts whining. 2 taps, loud, and sounds like something pointed hitting the door. Dog is now silent and shaking, crawls behind the couch. You ain't getting a 3. I grab my shotgun and throw open the back door. Bushes and trees being rustled. Tell whatever it is to get gone. Suddenly, no noise. No owls, doves, bugs, not even the wind. This smell hits me, like blood and water, really thick. Hear 4 distinct crunches in the brush. Shine flashlight into bushes. It was a human face, but something was wrong with it. It was low to the ground, almost as if someone was lying on the ground with their head strained up to look. It's looking at me, but not directly, almost at my chest. Face was pale, plain, but with a small, almost serene smile. Notice it's not connected to a body. Not human, anyway. Thin-legged, pale, deer-like body. Neck is aimed towards the ground, just ends in the face. I couldn't move. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Face doesn't change, but its hair starts to stand up on it. Finally get the feeling back in my body. Realize it's going to charge. Book it back into the house, slam and lock the door. No noise. Stand up and notice something in the corner of my eye. Window next to the door. That serene fucking face, staring at me, but not at me. I vaguely remember slumping to the floor in front of the window and staring at the thing. For 6 hours, I sit like this. Just as suddenly as it came, it disappears back into the darkness. A bird chirp is so loud in my ears that it jolts me out of my trance. Notice I had at some point unloaded my shotgun and put it out of reach. Sun rises. Look outside the window. Variety of bones and decaying wildlife piled up outside the door and scattered around the backyard. Ran in my truck with my dog and never spoke of this to anyone. Your turn. 8 years ago, hunting on girlfriend's land in Maryland. Why did I say it like that? Hunting on girlfriend's land in Maryland. Come across a red brick foundation about a mile into the woods. Weird, no roads or access at all. Old, nearly collapsed shed-type building. Inside is an old fireplace and chains sunk into the concrete floor. Probably an old slave building. Wooden box inside. Start looking inside the box. Wrapped in a blanket is a leg or arm bone with what looks like saw or tool marks. No thank you. Head back to girlfriend's house. Tell her dad. Too dark to go back and show him. Go back the next morning and the wood chest is gone. He never knew there was even a foundation back there. Don't hunt those woods again. Still creeps me out to this day. Was almost positive it was human. I'd seen bones identical at a body farm 2 years earlier. The heck is a body farm? Similar story here. Backpacking around the superstitions alone. Hadn't seen anyone for 2 days. Completely alone. Found this weird looking cave. Remember having a strange fucking feeling about it, but I decided to check it out. Looked like someone had set up a camp inside the cave, but it hadn't seen any recent activity. Check out this large trunk with knife carvings all over it. There's a fucking human hand in it with decaying flesh on it and a bunch of bones. Noped the shit out of the cave and hiked back to my car. Got a hold of the nearby rangers and told them about the cave. Led them back there. Basically, they told me to keep my mouth shut about it, and they would handle it. That was the end of that. Don't know what happened after we got back and I left. Never went back. Okay, so I have a story. Not sure if it's paranormal, but freaked me out. Live in Arizona. Went camping with some work friends in the Sedona area. Near a river, wooded area. One friend has speech issues. Had some rhoticism issues. Couldn't say R sounds very well. Anyway, went camping in a remote area. Set up camp near river since it was just before mosquito season. Rhoticism guy is quiet type, just sort of falls into the background. Don't see much of him. Everyone is running around, exploring and swimming. Gets dark and things settle down. Roticism guy is still not around, but no one is too worried. Grown-ass man can take care of himself, and it's not that late either. Getting darker, starting to worry. Roticism guy finally shows, takes seat by the campfire and stares blankly into it. Ask him if he's okay.
Yes.
Ask where he was. Says nothing. He's always been aloof and quiet, so just let it go. He's back safe, and that's all that matters. Start having fun with other friends again. Forget about Roticism guy, he just sort of slips into the background as always. Go to bed. Roticism guy and a few others stay up. Felt good going to bed, but couldn't fall asleep. Got more and more restless, drifting in and out. Kind of have to piss, so thought maybe that would help me sleep. Get out of tent. Roticism guy is still in his exact spot, barely able to see him from the burned down coals. Nearly shit myself. Creepy as fuck. Just can't describe it. He was sitting there, completely still, just looking at the coals. Rub hands together and put them near the fire pit like he was warming them with a big fire. Not sure what to do. He turns and looks at me. Finally decide to say something. Maybe something freaked him out from when he disappeared. Maybe he saw a dead body or something and is now in a catatonic state. Start calming down. You okay? It is like 4 a.m. Suddenly stands up and starts talking. Acts cheery, but can't seem to put emotions behind it. Babbles on for a few moments about the sun coming up soon and getting another good hike in before having to leave. Wants to go for a hike with me. Like, right that damn second. Doesn't want anyone else to come or know we were going. Doesn't even want me to change clothes or put on shoes. Gets more persistent. Suddenly, realize that he's pronouncing words perfectly. Roticism guy cannot say some words correctly for his life, and this guy has not messed up a single word. Start freaking the fuck out. Say that I'm going to wake up the others. Go towards the tents, rattle them, yell to friends that it's time to get up. Never take my eyes off the Roticism guy. He sits down, returns to his pose of just staring at the coals. Most friends get up, pretty pissed at me. No fucks are given about that. Say anything needed to keep them up. One guy bitches about the cold, talks about getting firewood. Roticism guy offers to join him. Oh fuck. Don't know what to do. Out Roticism guy? Try to lie to keep him still, or just let friend go off with him and be thankful that it's not me. Silly me, I volunteer to join them. Roticism guy stares at me for a moment. Might have been a glare, might have just been a calculating stare. Either way, I know I just saved my friend's life. Roticism guy follows us, slowly, just really fucking creepy, like he doesn't fit in with us. Do not leave my friend's side for a second. Keep looking back at Roticism guy. Friend gets the idea that something's up. He starts looking back at Roticism guy too. Get the damn firewood. Get back. Never take eyes off Roticism guy again. Friend does the same. He seems to get that Roticism guy is acting weird. Just stares blankly. Doesn't talk unless spoken to. Will do out-of-place actions, like he'll kneel down and pull his shoelaces around like he was pretending to tie them. All of the others return to sleep for a few hours. Once people wake up, no one but me and my friend notice that Roticism guy is weird. He'll randomly talk to the others, trying to get them to go off alone with him. No one does, since he was always so weird about it. He asked one guy if he wanted to go piss, for example. Roticism guy might be quiet, but fuck, he isn't that aspy. Keep close eye on him. Make sure no one gets alone with him. Pack up. Time to go. I'm driving. Once we get near Sedona, Roticism guy asks to be let out. Says he'll walk home. Fucker lives in Phoenix. 2-hour drive. Let him out. Don't give any fucks. Just want him out of the damn car. Others seem confused, but I don't care. He gets out. We drive off. Stare at him. He doesn't move, just twitches a little bit. Make a turn and can't see him anymore. Immediately tell others what happened. Slightly scared that he'll jump out and start going gorilla on the car or some shit, but nothing. Others comment that he was being weird, but still don't agree with just leaving him. Can't seem to convey that he wasn't being weird, but no one but the firewood friend believes me. He doesn't speak up much, so I drop it. Back at work, Roticism Guy doesn't show up for a few days. When he does get back, he stays far away from me. Not sure what to do, but he seems to be back to normal. Doesn't offer to go to the bathroom with anyone anymore anyway. Eventually talk to him. He's pissed as to why we just left him out there. Yell at him for being so damn creepy. And besides, he asked to be let out. More arguing about the facts until I get it. He claims that I took him to show him something on the first day. Walked for hours and then I disappeared. He was lost in the woods the entire damn time. That was not Roticism Guy that spent the night with us. Never speak of it again and never tell the Roticism Guy my side of the story. A few days before New Year's Eve in 2013, I had decided to go camping with my friend. He's 26, I'm 20. He's the real outdoorsy type and loves camping. I've never been before and don't know shit. Convinces me it'll be fun and we'll make friends at the campsite. We're going on his Yamaha motorbike. I can ride, but I haven't gotten my license. Have to pack the bare minimum, plus booze and weed. He lives in Ballarat, so I take the train up and we ride down to Forest where we are staying. Campsite is Lake Elizabeth, if you know it. Not too many people there on that day. 2 couples and their dog, a Bogan family with children, and a family of Asians. Well, fuck this, .jpg. He says don't worry, closer to New Year's Eve, younger people will arrive. At this point, I just want to go and find a place to stay in Lorne, but that'll be all booked out. We stay 2 days. Next day will be New Year's Eve. So far, another group has rocked up, bunch of 20-year-olds. They turn out to be all religious, and all they do at night is have a barbecue, not even drink or anything. At least I got a few snags off them. Yes, I'm aware of how Aussie this sounds. Finally, my friend agrees that this place is shit. We pack up our shit, and just in case, we tell the religious group to please save our spot in case more people come. We leave and decide to try our luck in Lorne anyway, and if we can't find anywhere, we can always come back to Forest. We spend a few hours in Lorne, absolutely nowhere. We could try Apollo Bay, but it's already getting late-ish and it'll probably be full too. Ride back to Forest. The campsite is fucking full. Religious group are nowhere to be seen. It's like 7 p.m. now, so we try to find a tiny place to squeeze in, but not even kidding, it's fucking full. Ask the Bogan family who was there when we got there what's up with that. Tells us they come up every year, and it always gets full right before New Year's Eve apparently. So pissed at this point, having a small breakdown too. Friend tells me to chill out, we'll just camp somewhere illegally, no big deal, he does it all the time. I'm a bit of a pussy, but we have no other choice. In between Forest and Lorne, there's some pretty dense forest, but there's no road going through it, so you have to kind of go around and then go off the road. Good thing his bike is built for off-road and on-road. Okay, so here's where it starts getting weird. Get maybe 2 kilometers into the bush when we find a clearing. Made sure that we knew what direction we were going on the compass. Like 8:30 p.m. now. It's daylight savings, so it doesn't really get dark until 9:30. Put up our tent and shit. Can't make a fire because it's fucking Australia and that's dangerous. Eat dinner, smoke some weed, and we go to bed a little while after that. Wake up at some point. I have no idea what time it is, and I don't know why I woke up until I hear it. Something is walking around the campsite. Sounds big. There's also this foul smell like meat that has been in the sun rotting for a week. I'm frozen in fear at this point and staring at the entrance of the tent. My friend is fast asleep. The fucking thing brushes against the entrance of the tent. It sounds like it's sniffing. Suddenly, I hear it leave. I'm frozen in my posture for like 40 minutes before I wake up my friend and tell him what happened. He dismisses it and calls me a pussy, says it's probably a kangaroo or something. But what about that smell? For fuck's sake, Anon, I can't smell anything, just go to sleep. Be the next day, it's New Year's Eve. The night before his incident, semi-forgotten, I decided it was probably just a kangaroo that rolled into something dead or something. Friend says that by now there's no chance of us finding some other accommodation, so we should just stay here again for that night. But during the day, let's go to the beach. We're getting the motorbike ready when this random guy walks into the clearing. Nearly shit myself because I thought it was like a forest protection guy, but he wasn't wearing the uniform. Introduces himself as Jack. Says he's camping out here illegally too and can't believe he found other people. Says he heard the motorbike last night, but came and checked this morning, and that his camp is a little over 300 meters away. Talked to him for a while. Seems like an alright guy. Asks us how we met, and it's actually a funny story. We met because we found out we were dating the same girl, and instead of fighting each other for the two-timing shit, we ended up becoming good mates. He laughs. We tell him we're going to the beach for the day and coming back, but we probably won't find the same spot, so I guess this is goodbye. I wouldn't be so sure of that. Humans have an excellent sense of direction when they need it. Something about that statement just creeped me the fuck out, like how he said humans and not our. We go to the beach for the day and meet some chicks, but that's not really relevant for this story. We're coming back around 4 p.m. and we go off-road once again. Make it a little way in and find a clearing. Friend says this is the exact same clearing we were at before, but it definitely wasn't. Other clearing had a tree stump on the side and this one doesn't. Friend says that there wasn't a tree stump at the other one. Suddenly, Jack f***ing appears again. He tells us that this isn't the same clearing, but it's nearby, and his camp is pretty close to us now, and that's how he knew where we were. Friend is talking to Jack about camping shit, and I tell him I need to go to the toilet. I'm walking out into the woods, and I decide to try and find Jack's campsite. He wasn't lying about it being close. I stumbled upon it after like 100 meters. It was so messy. There were pots and shit lying all over the place. The tent zipper was half down, which any camper knows not to do because the bugs get in. Notice there's no car or anything. Draw the conclusion he must hike or something. Suddenly notice that fucking smell. Same smell I noticed the night before. Start getting this like instinctual fear, and I start backing away to go back the way I came. Hear this deafening screech come from somewhere in the distance ahead of me. Like no other animal or human sound I've ever heard. Hear it again and it's closer. I'm so fucking scared and I sprint towards camp. Hear a voice somewhere to the right of me. Hey kid, hold up. I heard it too. Jack's voice. I don't stop or look, I just keep running. Burst into clearing to see my friend. I'm really upset, so he knows I'm not making shit up and he listens to my story. Tells me that Jack told him he was leaving and that he had gone back to his campsite 10 minutes ago. I say that's impossible because I saw the campsite and it was all messy and Jack wasn't there, and then I heard him in the woods. Friend says Jack was probably in the middle of packing up and went for a piss when I was at his camp, and that I definitely imagined his voice in the woods, and the screech was just some animal in distress. Look, Anon, why don't we go check his campsite together? I didn't want to, but after some convincing, I led the way. Get to Jack's clearing and everything is gone. Friend smirks at me and says he has to go piss and to wait here because he doesn't know the way back. He disappears into the bushes. This is normal for him. He hates pissing in front of other people. Suddenly, see this flash of white I hadn't noticed before. I look up and it's a ripped t-shirt hanging from a tree branch. It has blood on it. I start freaking out again and yell for my friend. I hear that fucking screech again. I sprint, somehow end up going a different direction to the campsite, so I stop after about 200 meters, otherwise I'll get too lost. I'm panting and I'm sitting there for about 5 minutes before I hear this weird kinda high-pitched sound. Becomes clearer. I realize it's my friend's voice calling my name. That relief. I call out to him and we find each other through the sound of our voices. Did you hear that screech? It's the same one I heard at Jack's camp. Yeah, I did, Anon. Weird, right? Do you know where our camp is from here? I know the general direction and we end up back at the camp. I tell him about the white shirt and he agrees that it's creepy. Well, at least Jack is gone now. We can spend tonight here. Get that instinctual feeling again like I had at Jack's camp. Nah, man. We should get out of here. This place is creeping me out. Friend suddenly gets really angry. What the hell, Anon? I can't believe you're going to back out of something just because you think it's a bad situation. Remember when we first met and that girl was playing with both of us, but instead of fighting each other, we turned that bad situation around and became friends? I think that's a really weird thing to say. Like, didn't really fit into the context of what was going on, you know? Nah, I really think we should leave. We hardly have any food or water left as well. Why don't we just go back to Ballarat and hang out with Jesse and them? Finally, he agrees. Before we go, can you just come with me into the woods for a sec? I need to pee, but that screech scared the shit out of me. I kind of follow him a few steps until my brain clicks. I start smelling a whiff of that foul scent again, and I remember that my friend is the kind of guy who needs privacy when he pisses, even if he's scared. Nah, dude, just fucking hold it in. I don't want to go anywhere but out of these woods. He reluctantly agrees, and we pack up the tent. Mostly me doing the work, he's just sitting and watching me, which is weird because it's his shit, and he's really protective over his camping gear. I pack the saddlebag for the bike and wait for him to get on. Gives me this weird look. Can't you ride this time? I'm feeling really weird now. Tell him he knows I can ride, but I don't have my license. I'm really tired. Can you just ride today? We'll be fine. I agree. I just want to get the fuck out of there. He gets on behind me and puts his hands tightly around my waist, which he knows you don't need to do because we have a back plate. I check the compass, and after a while we get onto the road, and after an hour I pull over because we're getting on the highway soon. Tell him we need to switch just in case I get pulled over. He gets on but asks where we're going. I can't believe this shit. Tell him we're going back to his house. Ended up having to direct him back. I knew now that something seriously weird was going down with him, and he also knew that I knew, because what person forgets where they live? No point green texting the rest of the story, but basically I got the fuck out of his house when we got there because I just couldn't stand to be in the same room as him anymore. On the trip, things like clicked together in my brain, like how he only knew things after I said them, and how he only knew about how we met because we had told Jack, and Jack was definitely involved in this somehow. And he's also been really fucking different since that trip. Like, he has this dog which he's had for 12 years, and he loves that dog, man. Like, it's his best friend. When we got to his house, he didn't even greet it or pat it, and that is seriously not right for him. Also, he's a really social guy, and our Ballarat mates said that on New Year's Eve, he didn't go out at all. And when I was leaving his house, he didn't try and convince me to stay or anything, and my real friend would have. But I think whoever it is now knew at that point that I knew what was going on. Some of the texts he sent me, school one was when I was in Ballarat visiting another friend and he somehow found out I was there. There were other texts, but I never reply, and I deleted some just because it made me upset. He's been stalking you. Find out if he's been asking around about you from your friends. Also, would Adam usually make a lot of typos? Nah, like when he's drunk, yeah, but during the day he wouldn't. He's working on his PhD in occupational therapy. Friends have said in passing that when they've gone to his house, sometimes it smells disgusting, and they always describe it as rotting meat, like something had died in there. And apparently Adam would always say a possum had died in the ceiling, which isn't uncommon, but given the situation... Anyone have any theories on that rotting smell? Also, do you think it's a skinwalker or what? Gonna ask one of my friends now. Well, I can't find any continuation of this in the archive, so his friend got replaced. Sounded like a pretty standard Skinwalker story to me. Living in Brainerd, Minnesota. Last fall, before it started getting really cold, my friend invited me to go camping up in some forest up north. I'm no outdoorsman, but I agree. It's a long trek up there. Get some food in Duluth and then leave civilization behind. We set up camp. It's a really beautiful place, remote, next to a lake. We set up camp, spent a few hours dicking around. At one point, we laugh our asses off like assholes over a dumbass joke. Wow, it's a lot of ass. Buddy asked me to head out and get some more firewood while he gets dinner ready. I head out. It's a really beautiful spot, so I walk out for a bit just exploring before I bother getting any wood. Think I hear something. Brush moving, twigs snapping. Smells like hot, rancid garbage all of a sudden. I figure it's a skunk or a dead animal and hurry up to get branches and shit. I suddenly hear what sounds like a man getting strangled in the middle of a laughing fit. This. Spin around on my heel and start running back towards camp. Ram face first into something. It's a head taller than me and pale as shit. Too shocked to make out any details. Reach to my side, pull out my trusty fillet knife, and let loose 6'4" worth of fear-powered blue-collar stabbing into this thing. Can't remember what happened past this point. Just some spotty memories. I remember walking back to camp vaguely. I remember laughing my ass off over having dealt with that thing. Barely remember anything else. I know me and Buddy got out of Dodge that night instead of spending the night. By the time I gather my wits, we're on our way home, texting and calling my friends and parents and shit. I was pumped about heading back home. Buddy drops me off. I remember he seemed really awkward and left in a hurry, didn't even come in. Hole up in my apartment, spend hours just watching YouTube videos and shit like that. Just wanted to hear people talking to get my mind off the trip. Call off work the next day, don't even get any sleep, watch a bunch of movies. Finally check myself. All I've got is a big gash on my thigh and it's already healing. I think I'm finally getting over it. I've been avoiding company for a few months, but that's not too unusual. Spending a lot more money on food too. I used to eat a lot of rice and salads, but I've been craving burgers and steaks and shit recently. I'm thinking about inviting some friends up north for a camping trip when the cold's over. Still feel like I have some unfinished business. Back in late 2005, early 2006, I just moved to a backwoods part of Maine. Lonely house in a heavily wooded area. Next house was maybe half a mile away or longer, it seemed. First couple nights there with Mom. Her big giant bed hasn't come from the movers yet, so we share a bed for now. Late night rolls around and we look outside at the stars and how nice they look. Realize how f***ing pitch black it is. We moved from Boston and we're used to noises and lights, not this kind of quiet. Go to sleep, or try to. We both wake up a bunch to small bumps and sounds through the night. Eventually I get woken up around 2 or 3 by how unusually quiet it became. Like, no animals quiet. It was as quiet as it was black. Compelled to get out of bed and check all the locks to make sure everything was shut tight through the house. About to head downstairs. Hear blood-curdling man's scream erupt from the woods. Mom wakes up in a panic. I retreat to the room and lock the door. Mom and I stay awake until dawn. Later in the morning, we find huge footprints leading up to the spot just under where our window is on the grass below. We were sleeping on the second floor. I got one. I live in Florida and went hog hunting with a buddy. I had my VZ-58. He had a Stevens 320 shotgun. So we unfortunately never found any hogs, only tracks here and there, and we didn't want to follow him into the swampy muck, so we said fuck it and spent the day fishing and shooting beer cans. We were planning to spend the night and try our luck with the hogs tomorrow. So right around sundown we were cooking some fish we caught and start hearing the leaves crunching and branches breaking in the bushes around our camp. Like some sort of big motherfucker was trudging through the trees. My buddy and I are like, oh yeah, the hogs came to us. So we go out and look around, but we can't find shit, which is odd because something big was definitely moving. So we say whatever and head back to camp, and the remaining fish we had were gone, so we were like, what? Because we were only about 30 yards from our camp. My buddy suggested it was ninja hobos, but I'm a bit more concerned. Later that night, we're sitting by the fire talking and drinking, and we hear something moving again. This was incredibly stupid, but we just started lighting up the bushes. I put 2 mags in the general direction of the noise. Not sure about my friend, but I know we stopped to reload, so picture that scene from Predator, but on a smaller scale. Now our ears are ringing and our guns are hot, and we hear the most horrible scream I've ever heard, like an old lady mixed with a panther mixed with a fucking demon, and loud as fuck too. We could hear it over our ears ringing like crazy. Something books it through the trees, and we see branches moving and hear shit snapping and moving away from our camp. We say, nah, pack our shit and get out in the middle of the night. Fuck waiting till the morning, we were too spooked. Sorry for the lack of punctuation, I'm too drunk to be proper. But unlike most of these stories, this is 100% true, and this happened in Weston, Florida. Every word of this is true, so it's maybe not the most exciting story, but true. So this happened in about 2002 or so. Me and a buddy wanted to do some cold weather camping. It was November and temps had fallen into the 30s Fahrenheit. We're southern, so that's cold for us. Grab some whiskey, some heady nugs and camping gear, and head to Nantahala. Nantahala is in the mountains of North Carolina. Some of the most beautiful mountain scenery in the eastern U.S. and one of the highest concentration of waterfalls anywhere in the world. Lots of free campsites in this national forest. Simply pull off forest roads, and many maintained sites exist with pads and fire rings. Yes, I myself have actually camped there before. Great car camping if too lazy to be Survivor Man. Spend each night at a different site, have a blast, campfires, buzzes, fool ourselves into thinking we are hardy woodsmen. Third night, we pull into the standing Indian camping area. We're exhausted. Very windy. Set up camp. Full moon. Great visibility. Weekday in coldish November means that we're the only people there. No RVs, no ATVs, no tents. Only people for miles. Path leading up to the ridge heads right out of our sight. Decide to stretch our legs with a little hike. Pal takes a knife, not gun nuts, and a flashlight, which we don't need 'cause full moon brightness. Walk a few minutes, wind, trees, going straight bedlam. Bored, anon, let's go back and make a fire. Okay. Walking back, wind still crazy. Wind absolutely dies down for a few seconds, not even a breeze. All of a sudden, hear a human gasp directly behind us. So close, as in a few inches behind us. Turn around, nothing, no one there. Friend pulls out knife and makes some half-assed comments about not being scared of you. Flashlight also reveals nothing. Hurry back to camp and make fire. The rest of the night was exhausted nodding off fire maintenance and trying to stay on guard for the invisible gasper, but nothing else happened. It was only a couple of seconds of terror. To this day, I know it wasn't the wind. Friend has since died. I figure if I ever hear that sound again, it'll be him f***ing with me. Yeah, so I've been to exactly where they went before. There's a lot of bears there. There's also a lot of people that just dump some half-eaten deer carcasses when they're done hunting and whatever. So, wouldn't be unlikely if it was a bear snorting or a deer snorting or something like that. In Michigan, live in the woods. Hear stories of Michigan Dogman, local urban legend. Creeps me out, but at the time I was 9, so a lot of things did. Sleep on first floor of the house. Window is still like 10 feet off the ground because the house is on a slanted hill. Wake up one night because I need some water. See something outside window. Looks like the top of a German Shepherd's head, but too dark to see features. Panic for a second, then decide it's just a reflection. Then the thing twitches its ears, like how a dog's ears twitch when listening. Realize that there's for sure something outside the window. Too scared to get water. Decide to go to sleep under the covers because scared 9-year-old. Looked the next day, nothing outside the window or anything, but I found out a few months ago that Dogman stories are full of window-looking incidents. Before you say it's bears, I still don't think it was a bear because of the distinct head shape this thing had. The ears were way too pointed. Driving in the desert here in California. See some really nice looking dunes and decide to camp near an old sycamore tree in the desert. Decide to go hike through the desert. Came across a dried up river. Walked up the river for about 4 hours. On the way notice a spinal cord along the path and assume it came from some animal. Notice truck tires going from the river up a hill. Decide to follow them. House with very old tiles hidden between 2 hills and a canyon. It's really dark since it's in a canyon and it gets no sunlight. Notice no cars or anything. Feel a gust of cold icy wind and hot California weather come my way. Say fuck it and leave. While walking on my way back, notice lots of footsteps that aren't mine. Something was following me for the past hour. Sprint all the way back to my car as fast as I can. Probably came across a Satanist house or something. Oregon, hiking early in the morn. I usually hike alone and there aren't many known predators in the area like bears or mountain lions, so I don't feel unsafe at all. Nod and say good morning to a guy on my way to the trailhead. Snap some shots of the trailhead sign before continuing. Start on the trail and not even 2 minutes in, I get a sudden feeling of dread. Brush it off. Sun's already up and it's golden hour. Can't miss the awesome photo op. Continue into the woods taking photos of trees. Hear footsteps behind me. Look back, but nobody's there. Whatever, it's nothing. Snap some shots of the scenery. Continue down the path when I get these mad chills and an overwhelming feeling of dread. The fuck, man? Decide it's best to just not go on this hike alone. Get in car, still trembling like I was just shoved into a freezer. Take a while to warm up and stop shivering. Still have no idea what it was that made me stop that hike. There was nothing out of the ordinary, and I don't have any sort of condition that just causes me to quake like that. Doctor didn't find anything wrong. Better yet, none of the photos I took were on the card when I checked it after I got home. Just one photo was on my SD card, and it wasn't anything I even remember taking. Pick is related. I went on a pretty well-known hike on Iron Mountain. If you've never been, it's pretty much just dark greens, especially for the time of year I went, which was spring. It was pretty damp and the light was polarized, yet the only pic to come out on my camera had washed out colors. I've got myself a story. It's long as fuck, so here we go. Be me several years back. Be studying business at public college, hating life. Depressed, no friends at a party school, failing some classes, no job, no guns except an Izvesk nugget. Yep. Lose last close relative to an 18-wheeler. Decide I've had about enough. Grab nugget, couple of boxes of Tula ammo, winter clothes, camping supplies, 3 days food. Plan on literally wandering off into the St. Joe National Forest to die. Pick related, stolen from the internet because I didn't take a camera with me. Didn't want to waste a camera. Mid-December, so snowy as fuck. Stop at Walmart, buy another box of Tula and a few packs of Newports. See poster hung up near the pisser in Wally World. Cutie pie recently gone missing. Stare at picture for a while. Think lonely thoughts. Face burned into memory. Piss. Leave Wally World. Still thinking about Cutie and how I'll never have one of my own. Drive out to Idaho. Arrive at destination. Step out of the car into the cold. Still remember the feeling that it gave me. The crunch of the snow underneath my cheap, shitty boots. Unpack my shit, ditch the car, leave it unlocked for once. Start walking, light me up a cigarette, lose sight of the car. Hike for hours, probably in circles. Couple hours in, veer off the trail and just hike through the woods, really drinking in the beauty of it all. Such a haunting and desolate place. Start running low on cigarettes. Start to get the feeling that I shouldn't be here. A twinge of fear. I ignored it. I was out there to die anyhow. Begin to feel like I'm being followed. Hear branches break behind me every so often. Assume it's just snowfall weighing down branches until they drop. Hell, that may have been it, but I doubt it. Run out of cigarettes shortly before sundown. Say fucking hell in an audible, almost loud voice. Almost feel guilty for breaking the silence. That sort of feeling you'd get if you'd said, in front of your grandmother. Set up an empty water bottle, fired some rounds at it from 50 yards with the Mosin. The echoes rang and rang. Maximum E because I didn't have the forethought to bring ear protection on my suicide trip. Pull out a single round and tuck it into my boot for shooting myself later if I so choose. Took the backpack off to do the shooting. Went to grab it and noticed movement in the trees, maybe 100 yards away. It was big, whatever it was. Real big. Always had shitty eyesight. That's why the Navy wouldn't take me. Figured it was just a blurry-ass elk. Was standing there, staring at it, wondering if there were elk in this part of the world or not. Started to get a funny feeling. Moving slowly, terribly slowly, went to chamber around in the Mosin. Bolt got stuck for some reason. Looked down to see what the problem was. Looked up, and it was gone. It was just an elk. Calm down. Well, the worst it can do is kill me, right? That's why I'm here, right? Right? Start making camp. Quickly forget about it. Getting a fire set up and finding wood is difficult as shit. Pain in the dick. Get frustrated. Have a hissy fit and throw a piece of wood at a tree. Scream "F you" at a tree. Calm down. Make camp all the way. Mow down on MRE at sundown. Why does this shit taste like blood? Because the air smells like blood. And copper. And decay. The fuck? I've read about this. Relaxing on, it's nothing. Hear a distorted "F you" come from the trees. Leap to my feet. Loaded Mosin in hand. Spinning around and around, scanning the trees. Hear branch break at my 9 o'clock. Train rifle on my 9. Hold it still. Fine dusting of snow starts to accumulate on the rifle. After about an hour, relax. Tuck self in the sleeping bag. No tent, because I fucking forgot one. Idiot. Fold sleeping bag over myself without zipping it. Sleep with rifle in hands, ready to go. Fall asleep with almost entire body stuffed into sleeping bag. Awoken by foul smell. Same as before, but more so. Notice the fire is out. Check my watch. I'd slept 2 hours or so. Feel weight on ankles. Look down at ankles. My pack is resting on my ankles. I didn't fucking put that there. Realize that there's a tree that shouldn't be there right at the foot of my sleeping bag. Realize it's not a tree. It moves a little. Swear I can almost hear it breathe. Taller than a person, for sure, and thicker. This is incredible. Was able to make out the arms, long with claws, hanging loose by its sides. Heart starts pounding until that's all I can hear. Consider for a split second putting the Mosin barrel into my own mouth and trying to end it before it gets me. Adrenaline takes over, though. Slept with the Mosin in my hands, ready to go. Use Mosin to flip unzipped sleeping bag off me. Aim at the figure and fire around. Blinded, deafened. Leap to my feet, swinging the Mosin in front of me like a club and screaming. Regain vision. Panickedly scan the trees. It's gone. Maybe it's hiding behind a tree, just out of view. I'm scared. I'll kill you. Fuck off. I'll kill you. I will. Said it louder. Fuck off. I'll kill you. Somebody replies, distant but clear. Hello? Followed by, are you okay? I replied, who the fuck are you? What do you want? The message came back, Jim, are you alright? Talked with it some more, all the while nervously scanning the perimeter. A couple other voices chimed in from the same direction. Told them I nearly got eaten by a bear. They fired off an orange flare. Realized they were close as fuck, just down a hill. Pretty sure I passed through the clearing they set up in shortly before making camp. Can you come to us? What if I get ambushed? I'll come to you. I have a gun. Don't shoot me, okay? Deal. Please hurry. Seemed like it took forever for homie to show up. We played Marco Polo until he got to me. Had a stainless steel 357 and a flashlight. Introduced himself as Jim. Nice enough guy. Asked me if I was injured. Manlet as fuck. Led me back to his camp. Spoke to me quietly on the way. We've had bear troubles ourselves. Even quieter. Ain't no bear, man. You agree? Replied. Couldn't fucking agree more. The others still think we just ran into a bear in the woods and are pretty calm. Try not to spook them. Half of them are shit-faced. Roger that. Ask how many people you have with you. 6 others. We arrived. Their camp was in relative disarray. Coolers and a couple tents scattered around a low fire. Beer cans everywhere. Trash everywhere. Drunk buck-toothed dude stumbles up to me, asks where the bathroom is. This is a shitty horror movie and we're all going to fucking die out of 10. Only other gun besides my Nugget and homeboy Jim's 357 is a 22, unless you count the flare gun. Manlet bro Jim systematically introduces me to everybody. Jim and the kid with the 22, who introduced himself as Travis, convinced their inebriated friends to stop drinking in case of bears. Bucktooth from earlier has stumbled into a tent and passed out, and so has one girl. Shake hands and exchange names with everyone else, but something is off. Run numbers in my head. 7 people total, 2 asleep in tents. Why are there 6 people out here? Jim dicks off to work on the fire, go to say hello to the last person, a girl. Ignores and stares at me. Kinda dark, but I swear the face looks familiar. Something moves in my left peripheral vision. It's stainless steel. It's the barrel of Jim's revolver. He's pointing it at the person I'm trying to talk to, slowly moving closer. Her face is just expressionless. Get the feeling I know her and then instantly realize I do. Homie starts to say something to the effect of, who the fuck are you? She/it wheels around and dead sprints into the tree line, gone in an instant. People who saw it start yelling. Who was that? What the fuck? Smell hits. Check the Mosin, it's loaded. We form a perimeter. Armed expeditions go to the tree line, panickedly gather wood, build fire big as fuck. Everyone who isn't passed out drunk is clutching something. The 22, the flare gun, machetes, a hatchet, regular knives. Nobody says a fucking word. Hear branches breaking off in one direction. More breaking, same direction. Smell gets fouler. Wish I had my cigarettes. Girl with the flare gun sees something, fires a flare into the trees. Curse girl's stupidity under breath. See silhouette 15 or so feet from the flare, illuminated. Fire around at it. Hits a tree. Thing bolts. People see it bolt. Hear it bolt. It doesn't run away from the campsite, just kind of adjacent to it. Branches break and people see things move for another hour. Kid with the .22 starts firing rounds almost constantly at different stuff. Is scolded for wasting ammo. Continues. Jim grabs and shakes him, tells him to knock it off. Realize they look so much alike because they're brothers. As the melodrama unfolds, hear loud shit behind me. Wheel around and fire a shot at the blur moving towards camp at lightning pace. Got a blurry firelight look at the thing as it sprinted right through camp, grabbed a dude and tried to haul him off into the woods. Guy had a machete, hacked at it and it let him go. Was curled in a ball, screaming. Dragged him back to the fire, calmed him down. Thing was big, ran with a funny-ass gait, but it was fast. Furry thing, big, oversized feet. Antlers, swear it had fucking antlers. Jimmy, you okay? You see those claws, man? It circles more. All of us, myself included, panic shoot into the trees, all running low on ammo. Still only 3 a.m. Fire burning low. It starts talking back to us, parroting back things that we've said. Jimmy, you okay? Running out of 357 guys. Almost hit it that time. Couple people start crying, start to lose it myself. The thing charges again, right at me. Scream and sprint right at it. Bury a bayonet in its chest and pull the trigger. Swipes at me with a claw, goes just over my head. Reels, pulls back, darts back into the tree line. Chased it. Gun raised over my head, screaming. Got into trees and saw it crouching there 6 feet from me. It was dark, but I saw it. Looked into its eyes and I lost it. Lost every bit of courage I had. Stood there, stiff, waiting for it to kill me. That face went hopeless prey in front of apex predator. Couple people grabbed me by the shoulders and dragged me back to the fire. They didn't see it. It was right there. Only 3 rounds left now. Use snow to clean black, steaming blood off of bayonet. I don't think he mentioned that he had a bayonet until that convenient moment. Camp was still circled, but less so, and the thing didn't fucking parrot us anymore, just wheezed. Loud, terrible, awful wheezes. Shrieked some, too. Sun finally started to come up. Most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. Sunrise? Oh my god. They haphazardly pack their shit. We hike 10 or so tense minutes in tight formation to a trail very close by. I had no idea it was there. Follow the trail back to their Pathfinder. They all jump in. I'm stuck standing there. Remember my mission, why I came there. Look down at the rifle. 3 rounds left. Remember the bullet in my boot. 4 rounds left. The fuck are you doing standing there, Anon? Get in the car. Anon, get in. Sorry, guys. I have unfinished business. Start to walk back down the trail, back into the woods. Feel the crunch of snow beneath my boots, the rays of sunlight shining down. Suddenly, darkness. Got knocked the fuck out and thrown into the Pathfinder. They hauled ass out, swear they saw something big step out from behind a tree and watched them drive away. We all agreed never to talk about it again, blah blah, never went back for my car, blah blah, 'cause none of that was real anyway. Stupid stereotypical crap. Most of the time I read these stories live. I might read a couple lines here or there just to be sure it's not a shitpost, but I like experiencing the stories for the first time that hopefully some of you are, so I can't help it when some of them end up being crap. This isn't a personal story, but my uncle swears on his life this shit happens all the time. It's not really in a woods. If anything, it's in a mountains, more specifically in a lake. Uncle likes to go fishing a lot to this lake in Mexico. Lake is in the mountains and within 10 miles of the US-Mexico border. Uncle and friends like to fish late at night from sundown to like 4 to 5 a.m. say weird shit is seen there all the time. Area is known for UFO sightings and ghost stories such as hitchhikers that aren't really there or ghost trucks. There is a particular part of the lake where they would just see small lights just over the surface of the lake. That part of the lake is known as La Playita, the Little Beach. People from the nearby city go to this place to swim. Combine that with thick foliage beneath the surface, and you get a lot of people who have drowned there. Uncle says that whenever those lights show up, the wildlife around the lake, such as crickets, birds, frogs, and coyotes in the surrounding hills, goes silent. Uncle believes those lights are the spirits of the people that met their untimely deaths at the lake. On the more UFO side, Uncle says he and friends have seen lights far up that at first look like stars. Lights will turn brighter and start moving in quick motions like zigzags and stop suddenly. I've also seen a large white light that came out from behind one of the hills. Light illuminated the whole lake and surrounding hills. Light suddenly headed straight up into the air, making no sound and disappearing in space. On that occasion, wildlife also went quiet. Uncle has told me that people that are newer to the lake will go up to him and his friends and ask if they've ever seen anything weird there, and he would reply, "What did you see?" And they'll tell him, and my uncle will be like, "Yes, seen a lot of stuff like that." I personally haven't visited this place, but my uncle has been going there easily for 25 to 30 plus years, so he knows the place like the back of his hand.